Okay. So now, let me start off before I introduce the next panel. Let me start off with a question. How many of us have an Instagram page, a LinkedIn page? We're active on Facebook. How many of us are absolutely active, opening our Instagram pages every day? Sorry, like I haven't opened it yesterday and today, but yeah. Okay. How many of us look at it just for some free time, and how many of us use social media for work? Right? So, why do you all take your hands down so soon? My hands are still up. So, how many of us use it for work? Okay. And how many of us use it for our free time? Okay, so it's important for both, I think, in today's time. So we'll put our hands together and we will welcome our next speaker, because our next session is going to focus on social media for business growth. So inviting our presenter on stage, Ms. Shrishti Chawla, CEO and co-founder OneSource. Before she joins me, a few more words so that you all are more familiar with her. Ms. Shrishti Chawla has headed marketing remits for the last decade, ranging from Nobel laureate Sri Kailash Satyarthi to India's demonetization, an award winner several times over at the APAC and global levels for public affairs, advocacy, reputation building, and more. Brands that her team today works on include that of Omron Healthcare, FDC Limited, Rising Pharma, and many more. She oversees all that is social, digital, customer base building, and creative at both OneSource, the firm, as well as OneSource, the 35,000 plus member strong forum. So I am sure this session is going to be something that we all, you all, including me, are going to take good advantage of. So requesting Mr. Shrishti to please join us. You would have about 20 minutes for your presentation, and we will keep 5 to 10 minutes for questions.
Hi, good evening. Shreya already asked that question, but one more time. How many of us are present on social media in general? Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest? Okay. How many of us in the room in the age bracket of 25 to 40? So most of us. Excellent. So our the presentation is not visible. So our Ragini, Smriti a little lower than 25, Vinod and Sara. Now why these people? Ragini is a very dear friend. She's been getting cosmetic procedures and laser hair treatment since about for 5 years now. Smriti, who's 24, is my sister, incidentally, is also thinking about getting skin treatments done. Vinod, another friend, he's got microfillers done. I honestly am not too aware of all the procedures, so whatever I know here are here. Sara, also a friend, is an Indian who lives in Canada, but has been getting aesthetic procedures since she was probably 18 years old. All of them are friends, so I've asked them before putting their pictures. Now, why are we talking about people between about 22, 21 till 40? The market, that is the Indian medical aesthetic devices market, is projected to reach $2.67 billion by 2028, and the anti-aging market is set to grow at a CAGR of 9% from 2023 to 2028. Those are quite big numbers, by the way. However, the astonishing thing is that 52.3% of our digital audience is between 18 and 44, which is why I had asked how many of your people here are between 25 to 40. People as young as 22 today are getting their MBAs and earning a lot of money, so they have disposable income enough to spend on aesthetic procedures, right? That's money. That's as far as money is concerned. Apart from that, today's culture is extremely open. So Gen Z and millennials are becoming more and more independent, more and more confident. They're not afraid to say, before I go switch to languages, everyone here comfortable with Hindi and English? Excellent. मैंने liposuction करवाया है या मैंने fillers करवाया है या मैंने laser hair treatment करवाया है. Nobody's afraid of saying that we're owning our bodies. We're not conscious anymore. करवाया है तो भी ठीक है, नहीं करवाया है तो भी ठीक है. It's my choice. Today is all about choices. Today's generation is all about choices, and they're really not afraid of showing it or saying it out loud. Having said that, this presentation is very obviously all about aesthetic medicine in the digital landscape, because everything from payments to our audience, everything is today digital. So why not aesthetic medicine? Because the market has so much potential, right? Before we move on, digital, contrary to a lot of popular belief, the first thing that might come to mind is social media. That's not it. There is a lot. There is a lot to digital media, even beyond what I've mentioned here. So everything from social media management. So I think the previous speaker was speaking has spoken quite a bit about building your brand via aesthetics offline. But what about online? What about why wouldn't you want to translate all of that to social media? Why wouldn't you want to reflect your brand as you are offline, and you're making your existing clients and patients comfortable? But what about your potential clients? What about the people who will, let's say, come to your page or who are searching actively for procedures online? Why wouldn't you want to reach out to them? Your brand reflection, your social media should be a reflection of what your brand looks like online and what your brand is online. That's why social media is important, because building your brand and engaging with existing and potential clients is what it helps you do. Content marketing. Content isn't king anymore, it's queen, right? Because we're talking about aesthetic procedures, and as yet, most of them are females, women get it done. It's not that men don't, but in that context, content is definitely queen. Anything that you say, I think the first session here spoke about why we should talk about, why we should take care of knowing and knowledge, because anything that you say as far as any medical procedure is concerned, it's very, very critical what you are saying. You can't have a word wrong, because लोग उठ के आके आ जाएंगे और बोलेंगे आपने ऐसे बोला था, मैंने ऐसे किया, उसके बाद फिर ये हो गया. So anything that you say, you're reaching out to people, you have to build trust, you have to build confidence. Anything that you say is all content. Now that's not it. You've created a social media page, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, but that's about it. You've created it, but then what next? How do you amplify everything that you're doing, right? Sorry, 1 second. Do I get a call on my, excuse me? Yeah, am I audible? Right, this is so much better. Okay. So, performance marketing, what it is something that we'll come to in a bit, right? But definitely useful for acquiring new clients. As is search engine optimization. Any of us here would ever consider a brand that appears on page 2 of Google? That's where brands go to die, right? So that's why social SEO is extremely important. How many of us follow influencers? Everybody, right? Almost everybody. मतलब एक दो नहीं भी करते होंगे, but nearly 95% of the room. For different things. So why not aesthetic medicine? Why do we follow influencers? Because we like what they create, we rely on what they say, we trust them. We relate to them somehow, whether it's a lifestyle, whether it's the products we use, whether it's the content they create. We relate to them, and therefore we trust them. And branding, of course. There is the brand, and then there is the doctor. But in this case, more often than not, you are your brand. Your brand is not going to be separate from you, because anyone who comes to you after looking at your brand online will want to ask you a million questions, and they will automatically relate you with your brand. What do we do online? What do we do? What is it that we do on digital media, social marketing? Read that, thank you. There's quite a bit here, right? So how many of us have searched for a product or even spoken about it, and the next day or within like 4 or 5 hours, we start seeing ads all over, photograph, और जब तक आप उसे click नहीं करोगे वो नहीं जाएगा. Sometimes just out of irritation, I order things because I want those ads to stop, right? That's what the power of Google search is. That's what the power of retargeting is. That's what the power of keywords is. Instagram is something that I've already spoken to. Like I said, most of us are on Instagram. We're consuming content. We're following influencers. We're doing a lot. We're posting our own content on Instagram, right? So that's why there. YouTube is great for creating a little more extensive content, sort of like your content repository. Let's say segregate them into channels, whether it's about skin or hair or overall cosmetic procedures. You can do a lot on YouTube with your content. Quora is something that a lot of people miss, but a lot of us go and ask questions on Quora only for the reason that Quora there are people just like us. They're not, if I am a consumer and if I want to know something about any brand, healthcare, any devices, obviously the person who's selling the service is going to say great things. No one says, "Mera service kharab hai, mat aao." But if I go to Quora, there are people who probably experience similar services across brands, so that helps me a lot as a consumer. Email marketing is additionally something that we can do for existing as well as potential consumers. The details is not something I'm honestly getting into right now because 20 minutes. WhatsApp is again something that's extremely, extremely useful to engage with current customers and maybe potential customers, but there are very specific strategies that we can use. But most importantly, what? What do we say? When we are present in all these places, what do we say to these people? Anyone from here, sir? Can you answer any of the questions under the apprehension? Any question? आप pick कर लो. Do you want a mic? Can you say which is the best hospital for cosmetic surgery in India? You know? Anyone, any question from credibility? Anyone? Or confusion or misrepresentation?
If anyone wants to speak from the audience, I can pass on a mic, so just raise your hand. Is the slide visible to everybody, or maybe she can just take you through what's it? Oh, I have a hand up. Yes.
The lights are too much.
Do you want to just quickly give them an idea of what is written there? That would help.
So, the thing is, all of these are real questions by real customers, clients, patients, consumers, call them what you will. What comes out of these questions is the fact that about any kind of, even though the market is growing, even then, the gaps are where the blue boxes, right? People are extremely apprehensive about cosmetics, cosmetic procedures or surgeries. They're very confused. जाना है तो किसके पास जाना है? Because there are so many options, there's so much advertising out there in the market. There's also so much misrepresentation, right? A lot of people say PCOD hai, to laser treatments mat karaiye. If you get the breast augmentation done, then you'll face a lot of challenges later in life, this, that, and the other. And then, of course, there's credibility. If I'm getting anything done to my body, I'm going to be very, very sure before I get it done, because if something goes wrong on my face and I can't fix it, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. So I really don't want to regret anything done to my skin or hair or body for the rest of my life, right? So these are the things that are present, and this is what we're going to address when we put out our content on social media. because that's very important. You're talking to a customer who's going to get done something to their body. It's very important that we are trustworthy and that we're saying the right thing. Educate, elucidate, and elevate your business. You have to educate your consumer. We can't, none of us can be in this space without customer education. They will not come to us. Nobody will come to us if we don't try and educate them. As much elucidation as possible. I remember 4 weeks ago, I went to Solderma Clinic in Delhi for a consultation because I was considering a laser treatment. And I sat with Dr. Anika Goyal for 2 hours, asking everything from, is ye actually hota kya hai, to are there going to be any side effects, to, you know what, I'm very hyper about my skin, so should I or should I not get it done? How many of us here will ever use a brand or consume it if we don't trust? Not a single hand, right? Trust is very important. Yeah, human relationships में इतना important होता है, brand consumption में इतना important होता है. Trust is extremely important in this world for anything that we do. So trust, but how do we build it, right? How do we show them that they can trust us? Simple, knowledge. Everything from what equipment you're using to what the surgery will do to them inside and outside, I think everything is, it's very important that we answer all their questions, potential or existing. Then of course you have to build desire because they should want to come to you. It has to be more a pull than a push, right? So desire, how do you build desire? You showcase. You showcase actual results. You showcase people who've already got these things done and the results of what it was before or what it was, you know, versus what it was after. Reliability is extremely important, and that can be built, that will only be built via authenticity. If you're going to, today's consumer is extremely intelligent. To speak to a 23-year-old, you're going to, I feel less intelligent than in front of a 23-year-old sometimes, because there's so much they know that we don't, right? So you have to be authentic with them. You have to say what you mean and not try to faff around. That's very, very important. They're going to catch you. They're going to catch you very fast because look at the brands that are going under the radar now for wrong advertisement or you know, saying the wrong things. Whether it's sustainability, whether it's product, whether it's services, it's very critical that we are authentic about what we're doing. And of course, the customer base that you will build is via engagement. सिर्फ इंस्टाग्राम से कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. आप इंस्टाग्राम पे जाके पेज बना लें, आप यूट्यूब पे जाके पेज बना लें. That's very great as a first step, but only that is not going to sustain or, you know, build your brand in the long run. So the approach is to integrate it, right? So build your brand, whether it's personal or your clinic, on social media, and understand basis past and basis your current conversations. What is it that your consumer is looking for, and put that out. That's very important. Content, like I said, it's queen. It's very important to put out the right content out there. Influencers are great, right? Like we've just spoken about. A lot of us follow influencers and then go and buy products that they recommend. That's there. Even though we know that they're being paid for it, but we still trust them because a lot of influencers today are coming out and saying, I will only endorse brands that I personally have used or trust. And that's very important for today's generation. Performance marketing to grow your business, there is always going to be some money involved because even Instagram, as you know, at the back end or algorithm really pushes content that has either some money involved or the verified tick, or there's a lot that can be done, but organic isn't just going to cut it. And of course, SEO to not land up dead on page 2. I'm going to quickly take us through a little bit, you know, about some success stories and examples of people who are already doing this. So, Dr. Rajat Gupta, anyone here? He's big, right? He's practically an influencer himself. I think he's using his brand and his content very, very successfully on Instagram to build. What he's doing essentially is he's posting information-led content, he's showcasing real results, and the engagement is 13%, which is astonishing because the average engagement in this industry is somewhere around 5% or 6%. So he must be doing something right. So I think all of us should just if we are interested in taking this up, I think it's very important that we do our own research as well in terms of looking at what others are doing and what's working for them and what's not working as well. Dr. Garikar, again, influencer. And 867K, matlab, he's a big influencer, right? So that's another example of things being done successfully on Instagram. Dr. Anika Goyal, personally, I went, and she very, very patiently, by the way, answered all my questions. So kudos to her. And the really, funny thing is that when I went back to see her Instagram, the tonality was same. It's not that she's doing anything very different. Everything that she told me, the way she spoke to me, everything that she said to me is what she was on social media when I checked her content. So imagine the trust kind of, multiplies 100% when I see that, matlab, wo सच ही बोल रहे हैं, वो मेरे को जो भी बता रहे हैं, that's true, that's authentic, and I should probably consider, if at all, to go to anyone here. Keyword targeting is very important. Again, when you're spending monies, you have to spend the monies on the right kind of keywords because you don't want to spray and pray. So the targeting has to be very, very critical. Everything from best cosmetic surgeon near me to laser hair treatment options near me to, I mean, some people, because obviously a lot of our customers are, let's say, hair removal. A lot of our customers are currently getting waxing and all done as a process of hair removal. So even that, as a keyword, if we target them, 3 बार देखेंगे, चौथी बार at least consider ज़रूर करेंगे. Right? They will do that, and that's how you switch, because customer targeting isn't, oh, an overnight exercise. It's going to happen. They're going to have to be aware first, then they will consider all their options, and after that they will make a decision. So it's a complete funnel. And then, of course, the lead forms to help connect to clients. So once they've done it, once they've clicked on whatever ad you're sort of, bidding keywords on, they're going to ideally should go to a lead form so that they can fill it in, and someone from the clinic then later reach out via email or WhatsApp. Remember, I said integrated. So the whole process is integrated, and it has to be closed as a loop. It can't just be open, unhone form bhar diya, hum touch nahi kar rahe unse base. That's not how it will work. So the integration is extremely critical. Targeting is crazy. You can target basis search trends, basis regions, basis age, basis interest, preferences, cross-targeting, upselling. It baffles me how much can you target, how much depth can you go to in terms of targeting. So everything from location, behavior, income base, there's a lot of not only demographical factors, by the way, also psychological factors that you can use to target. So, I mean, of course, the technical is something that a digital media consultant will be able to tell you, but the targeting is extremely depth, and as a result, the results are also, the conversions are also more and more, the more in-depth you target, the more you are able to convert. SEO, like I said, bidding on the right keywords, seeing what your brands are bidding on, seeing what your consumers are searching, making sure that your brand is present there, extensive blog writing, extensive content, extensive backlinks and authored articles. So everything that you do at the back end will help your brand be present on page 1 of Google, and that's where we all want to be. Influencer marketing. Quick question. How many of us here know who the brand ambassador for Thumbs Up is? Anyone? So there's been Akshay Kumar, Tiger Shroff, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan also somewhere in between. Recently they did Vicky Kaushal also for their one of their campaigns called Charge. Can anyone ever imagine Amitabh Bachchan being the brand ambassador of Thumbs Up? Who can imagine Amitabh Bachchan being the brand ambassador of Thumbs Up? Raise your hands, please. Mat karna, please. Thank God. Okay. Recently, I saw an ad before a movie where Pierce Brosnan appeared in a Panparag ad. I was very disturbed for 3 days after that. Very critical. Who you're choosing as an influencer. I'm talking brand ambassadors, but at the end of the day, they're also influencers, right? So who you're choosing influencers for your brand, very critical. What they say, what kind of content they put out, what is their personality, what is their tonality, how much people trust them, all of these things have to be considered. Collaborating with relevant influencers to increase credibility. And of course, experimenting with different formats like podcasts, reels, and videos. Just for a little bit reference, very obviously, here the audience is ideally should be looking at influencers in the skin and beauty space, mass influencers, Kusha Kapila, Dolly Singh, Prajakta Kohli, these people. Fashion influencers like Sakshi, lifestyle influencers, even actors for that matter. Please don't look at people who do comedy, finance, political, education, and there's a lot more to not do. There's a lot more to do. But the idea is to understand and pick the right kind of influencer, because once you associate with the wrong person, your brand credibility really dips. And to build that back up takes a longer time than it takes 1 minute for the brand credibility to dip, but up to a year for a brand credibility to go back up, especially online, because people have a lot of options. So aap nahi ho to koi aur hai. And that's a reality, unfortunately. But we want to do what we want to do, right? I know this is a lot of information, and any of this overwhelms you. Here we are. Thank you. Any questions, anyone? No? Yeah, please. Has a question.
Presently, meta ads are not working, even if you do performance marketing. So, to make sure that the presence is more, authentic and all, should we switch to SEOs and like content marketing more?
Definitely.
Because more of this Insta people don't take it seriously when it comes to services. So, as you said, meta can be just used as showing the reels and before, after, and all. So, what's your per se?
Definitely, but there is also one thing that I would like to point out. It's very critical to see what content you're putting out on Meta. That's why there's A/B testing. That's why there's optimization of campaigns, right? So if one thing is not working, then we have to go on and try other things. However, having said that, if you've tried, say, let's say 6 things and it's not working, also try exploring if it's not just working for you or also others, peers in the industry, right? If that's happening, then the platform is not working. But if that's not happening, then the content is not working. Having said that, everything else is definitely important. SEO is important, keyword targeting is important, content marketing is super, super important. But a lot of people, a common mistake that they make is कंटेंट पे पेज पे बहुत अच्छा कंटेंट डालेंगे बट एड्स में दे वोंट इन्वेस्ट एड्स में इट्स ऑल अबाउट ये डिस्काउंट वो डिस्काउंट ये सेल दैट से बट इट्स वेरी क्रिटिकल टू सी व्हाट इवन योर कंज्यूमर्स हु आर लुकिंग एट द एड्स आर कनेक्टिंग विद सो दैट डज दैट हेल्प आंसर योर क्वेश्चन
Yeah, but again, it's trial and testing for every brand.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Any other questions? No? Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being such a kind and patient audience. Thank you.
Yes, I would once again like to thank Shrishti for her time and for joining us and sharing all these insights. Of course, if you all have any more questions or you all need any kind of guidance further, they're going to be around for a while, so you can ask her that. But before that, please help me. Let's thank her together. Thank you.